Hello and welcome. I'm Master Lama Rasaji, and this is Rasaji Speaks, September 27th. This is our Wednesday edition. You might wonder why my background's different today. Well, today we're going to talk about the roots of the Holy Trinity. So in the part of this ancient part of Judean Jewish temple, might be a really good place to start. I thought it was fitting for this episode. The title is actually The Ancient Roots of Our Holy Trinity. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Even in the Old Testament, it's being alluded to by the prophets Isaiah and Elijah, Daniel, constantly being talked about a coming of a Messiah. And yet when he shows up, it had nothing to do with him, because they wanted things to stay the status quo. Jesus said, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I'll resurrect him. Well, on the one hand, he was obviously speaking about his body, his Gung, but he was also talking about the Gung of this temple, where a good part of it, several years later, after the resurrection, it was destroyed or partially destroyed. So what temple, what Gung was he talking about? Defy the temple and defy the spirit, defy the spirit and defy the temple. As above, so below, as above. So is the circle of life, right? So would it shock you to understand that Brahm, Vishnu, and Shiva is the ancient terminology for the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit? Would it also shock you to know that the sign of the cross was not something done just by Catholic priests later years after the resurrection, but city yoga masters talked about God's will and God's way thousands of years before Christianity ever came into being? Pretty interesting. When you study the ancient Hindu books, the Ramayana, the Shiva Purana, the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, powerful, the Upanishads. Upanishads sound like David's Psalm. It's like the Hindu version of the Psalms. But when you start to study ancient spiritual patriots or the Antediluvian patriots, it's very interesting in the books of the Hindu faith, in the Old Testament, the Judean, the books of Moses, you start to hear and feel the same sense. These individuals, I mean, they had the strength of Job, talking about pulling up your bootstraps. God said to Job when he was whining a little bit, girdle up your loins and kind of suck it up and follow me. In other words, where's all this whining and stuff coming from? I didn't hear that much whining with Daniel in the lion's den, nor Joseph in the pit of his other brothers threw him in. Here you are whining. Pull up your bootstraps, boy. Girdle up your loins and follow me. Jesus is said to later said, pick up your cross and follow me. We were seeing a modern day church the other day. We were having a little bit of ice cream. We had pulled into a Dairy Queen. We were getting ready to go to the gathering meeting on Wednesday nights. If you're a private member for $14.95 a month, then that's another gift that you get outside of 12 hours of training and some other meditation, the Qigong chair exercises, Emperor's Choice, you get to be a part of the gathering that Sister Lynette orchestrates and administers. They have a lot of fun. We were getting ready to get on, and so we decided to go through the DQ. I hadn't had a blizzard, and goodness gracious, I know it'd been a decade or more. And I'm kind of partial to ice cream and yogurt and things like this. Kind of calms down the kundalini. And we were looking over, and we saw what looked like an X. And it was on a symbol of a modern day church. And my wife, Mita, she looks at me and she says, Lama Ji, she says, why do they have a symbol of an X on the church? When I looked at it closely, I said, sweetheart, that's not an X. I said, that represents the cross tilted slightly like Jesus carrying the cross and dragging the cross to the heel of the skull, or Galathia. And I said, that's what it is. She goes, in the moment, it's funny how the mind and visual eyes plays tricks on us. The moment I said that, she went, oh my God, that's exactly what it is. How did you know that? I said, oh, the Holy Spirit just spoke in my heart. I said, I saw my brother carrying the cross. And so I thought to myself, what would the Christian world really know? How would they really react if they knew that Brahm meant God the Father, Vishnu means the Holy Spirit, and Shiva was the Christ in the ancient Hindu movement that was actually proposed by the Siddhars and the Siddha Yoga masters even before the Hindu religion came into being. And the Hindu religion has been around a lot longer than Christianity. I wonder what they would say about that. Think about what you would say about that. See, one of the truths that we teach at the Lamasery that you get by being a member and getting the light of truth, the weekly updates, is we're bringing people together. We're bringing race together. We're bringing cultures together. We're bringing religious training and study together. Because, see, that's what the light of truth does. The dark side does the opposite. They want us to battle against each other. They want black against white, red against yellow, women against men, religion, Christianity against Muslim, Jews against Hindus. You see, it's so predictable, right? But the moment you're willing to see that all religions are different chapters of the same book of one God, then you'll know how long the Holy Trinity has really been here. Baraka B'Shai, may the blessings be to you and your glorious family. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow on Thursday. Now, don't be late. Tell your family and friends. Rasaji expects you to be right here close by. Take some notes. See you really soon. Abba loves you, and so does the Lama. God bless.